Now joining me is Toby Foreman of those Shoemaker Gray Wolves. Went over to Copper's Cove to take on the Bulldogs last week. This week they got the Bryan Vikings up. So it's road on the road again with Will Nelson. Hasn't played but one game at Leo Buckley this year. We're going to see him soon though, folks.
One game.
We're going to see him soon. But let's go over to Copper's Cove last week, buddy. Yeah, tough go at it. They were pretty tough.
Well, it was our homecoming game, number one, and we started off playing at Leo Buckley for the first 2 minutes and 41 seconds on Thursday night.
Yes.
And then lightning happened, and so then we played our homecoming in Cove. And so, but yeah, it was a weird deal. But
it was a 6 o'clock start.
It was a 6 o'clock start. But, it was the same for both teams. And, they got after us pretty good. We never were behind in the game, but you just kind of felt like they were a play or two away from taking the lead. It was really it was one of those deals where I actually asked Coach Hammond if I could speak to their team after the game, and I gave them all the credit because I thought they played really hard and they didn't give up. They have several kids that they lost for various reasons that weren't available on Friday, and it just, I felt like they really outplayed us, and then we were very fortunate to get away with a win. But you're kind of a dog chasing the car if that continues, because we just can't. We're not going to be able to dodge all those bullets. We've got to put a full 48 minutes together.
Yeah, and you got to stay injury free if you can, and try and keep everybody going. And you head down to Bryan for this game on Friday night tonight. Ross has always got a good team. I don't care if they don't have any wins. He's going to get a good product out on the field.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, they have a lot of good players. Their defense is really, really stout. You got Nick Caraway at linebacker, and he's listed at 6'3", 250, and they're probably being nice right there. He is a big man, and I say man, he is a big, big man. He's a really good linebacker, makes a lot of tackles. Another really good player is junior Dwayne Paulhill. He's a DB and running back, number 20. He won't come out of the game much. They've had struggles at quarterback because their starting quarterback, Gooden, broke his leg the first half of the first game of the year, and so he's been out. But I mean, like I said, they really play. I mean, they lost to Belton by a touchdown the other day, and I saw the game on film, and that was a really, really close game. And they've really, Temple got after him pretty good, but Temple's really good, and so it's going to be a really, really hard nosed smash mouth game, and you got a legend on the other sideline, and he's old school, and I'm not definitely by any means a legend, but I'm definitely old school too. So it's kind of strap it up and let's see who's had the best all-season type game, and that's what we're expecting on Friday night.
You enjoy games like that, don't you?
I do. I'm an old school guy, and the people that coached me were a bunch of old guys, and it's kind of like the toughest team wins those games, and so that's what, because they don't do anything that's special on offense, and we don't do anything that's really special on offense. We just kind of, if you look this year, we hadn't run a bunch of gadget stuff and all that like we've done in the past. It's just been, let's just go play football type deal, and that's how they are too. So that's the type of game we're expecting, and it's in my opinion, it'll come down to conditioning, mental toughness, physical toughness, and who can hang around there in the fourth quarter and come out with a win.
They've always got some big old boys too, offensively and defensively on that line.
I will tell you, their O-line, D-line is this is definitely going to be one of the better fronts we've seen all year, especially their defensive front. They're big, they're athletic, they're physical, they look mean. I mean, it ought to be, it ought to definitely test the will of our offensive linemen, because I do believe that our offensive line is pretty good, and we'll see how good we are, on Friday.
Well, I want to talk about Omari last Saturday. Thank you very much for having me out. We were able to do the live signing on Facebook and Instagram of Omari signing to go play at Penn State. I know as a coach, his mom and daddy were just happy, and they've sent me lots of messages. Thank you to them for including me. But I know that had to make you feel good when you see those kids move on, just like you did at the end of the year when we had the big signings. But to go to a big school like Penn State, that's pretty cool.
Well, Penn State, I believe, is the polls are number 3 in the nation, and with a good reason. I mean, I've watched him play a couple of times, and he was being recruited by about 35, 40 schools, and so it's a blessing to his family and to him, but also all the faculty here and educators. And I said this while we were talking to him the other day, the Little League coaches and everybody that's helped him throughout, because it does take a village. But kudos to Amari and everybody, because I mean, he committed to a Power 5 school, and that's a big deal. You know, that's the second year in a row we've had a kid commit to a Power 5 school, and not a lot of schools have the opportunity to do that, and we're blessed to. And Kamar, he'll commit later on in the fall, and it'll be also to a Power 5 school, and that'll be more track related. But it's just, you know, it says a lot about what's going on here at Shoemaker, and I can just think when I got here, you know, I don't think a whole lot of that was happening. And so it is, you know, almost bring a tear to my eye to see these kids be able to further their, you know, educational and athletic career, especially at that level. It just says a lot for what they've done and what's happened in the short time that we have been here.
Yeah, and you're using school books and the and also the playbooks. That's a good thing when you see the kids doing that. But getting ready for this ball game, I know you've got to win all the ball games in this district the way things are going. You can't have an off week. You can't have a bad game. You've got to go out there and win. Yeah,
there's no doubt. And so my pregame speech is going to be very, very simple. Is make sure that you got your ankles wrapped, make sure that your chin strap is buckled on tight, make sure that helmet fit good, because they're going to test your will in this one, and we're going to have to respond, and we're going to have to test their will as well. It's their homecoming. They're fired up. They don't care about records. I don't see records. What the expectation is that we play Shoemaker Graywood football and get after them tonight.
And your final words are?
Is always go Gray Wolves.